on the Zeke's floating dough bait, and you can see the fish is kind of working on that. And it's kind of like when I was a kid. My dad said, you can help me most by staying out of the way, and you can help yourself most, usually when you're getting a bite like this, by not messing around with the rod. So we just kind of let it sit there and see if that fish takes that bait. Hopefully it wasn't just a drive-by. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's pulling out like he means it now. Again, he's not feeling any real resistance. The rod tip's wiggling a lot, but that's a really soft action rod. So, oh, there he goes. Give him a little more slack there. I'll actually take that off there now. In reality, I think I got him. In fact, I see the line going out, so I'm going to reel down a little bit. Little pan-sized rainbow. It's not a monster, but we're off to a start anyway. Oh, now he knows he's hooked. That Zeke Sierra Gold is good stuff. We are in the lower reaches of the Sierras, and as you can see, it does work. The nice thing with the 10-pound test is I can bring him in black bass style, just like that. Boom. Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. Well, I have a viewer question today from a guy named Sean Ray down in Wilton, California, and he asked me basically, how is he going to know when it is time to start bank fishing for trout this fall? And those scenes in the opening of this video, well, that was me bank fishing at Collins Lake a few years ago, catching fish off the bank, and it is a lot of fun to bank fish. And you know, I spent many years without a boat, without a kayak, without a canoe. I didn't even have a float tube. I spent all my time on the bank, and I caught lots of trout, and it's a temperature game. That is the bottom line, and there's a real easy way to determine if a given lake or kind of a given region in terms of elevation is ready for bank fishing, and you can do it on your computer. You want to Google something to the effect of California trout plants, Northern California trout plants, and what you're going to see when you do a Google search is you're going to see the California Department of Fish and Wildlife Trout Plant Data Portal. It's a long name. You'll see it. It'll be one of the top options on that search. Click on that, and it breaks down trout plants for the entire state. Now, if they're planting trout at a given lake or a lake in a given region, you know the temperature is right for bank fishing because they don't plant trout in lakes where the water temperature is too warm. It'll kill the trout, or it'll kill a lot of the trout when they plant them, because they won't know to drop down in the water column to where the cooler water is. They'll just swim around in a circle and basically kind of go belly up from oxygen deprivation. Oxygen deprivation. Try to say that a few times early in the morning. But bottom line is, Sean, if they're planting trout at a lake or at a lake in a region, you know the water temperature is right. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go to lakes that are too warm, you know, technically too warm, and catch trout. Holdover trout, they will come up shallow. They will move into warm water that is out of their comfort zone, but the bite window is kind of unique. You can catch those fish early, you could catch those fish late, but you can catch those fish really well after dark. And you see this all the time at Collins Lake. Problem is, a lot of your classic trout lakes, you know, up in the Sierra region, they don't allow, you know, night fishing. But down in the valley region, places like Collins, Comanche, stuff like that, you can night fish. And what you see at Collins, a lot of times, you know, middle of summer, peak of the heat, there'll be some guy out there at 11 o'clock soaking bait, and he'll catch a nice rainbow, because those holdover trout that, you know, they've been in there all summer, they will move up shallow to feed. So if I wanted to fish a valley lake right now and catch some trout and have some fun, I would pick a lake that had both trout and catfish. Most of them have catfish. I'd find one that it was legal to bank fish at, and I would go out for an evening outing. I'd throw out one rod with power bait for the trout, one rod with mackerel or liver or something for the catfish, spend a few hours and see what happens. You might be surprised with the results. I've caught trout before in 75-degree water at Lake Shasta while throwing crankbaits for bass, and I was shocked. But, you know, I've learned since then, those trout, they will move up into pretty warm water, but they won't stay there long. They'll move into it, they'll feed, and they'll run away. We've got some great bank fishing ahead. It's going to start in the Sierras first. It's going to work its way right down slope into the foothills and then into the valley. Just watch those trout plants. Watch the temperature. Days are already getting shorter. Nights are going to start getting cooler here in, 4, 6, 8 weeks, depending where you're at. You're going to start seeing first the foothill trout plants are going to kick into gear. Then the valley trout plants are going to kick into gear. Comanche, Amador, Collins, those places are going to go off in November, December. The higher foothill places, Rollins, stuff like that, usually start catching fish there in October. And in the high Sierras, you can bank fish right now, early and late, and that action is only going to get better. I hope that helps, Sean. I would very, very, very much encourage you to get your hands on a kayak. It is a game changer. Bank fishing's great. Having a small craft like a kayak or a canoe, it just gives you options. You can fish out of the craft, you can use the craft to get out to bank areas that are very rarely shore fish, which is actually kind of an aside to this, and then I'll wrap it up. That is one of my tips for bank guys. Once the bank fishing's going on, you even if you have a boat, utilize that boat to get out to areas where people rarely beach their boat, get out on the bank and toss out power bait, toss out inflated worms. Those fish just aren't used to seeing those presentations at those spots. Most people in watercraft, they want to troll. So if you have a boat, you have a canoe, you have a kayak, don't be afraid to utilize that craft to get out into the lake, get away from the crowd, get on the bank, toss out some lines. Growing up, we used to do that all the time at Lake Del Valle. My neighbor had a car topper boat, and really all we ever used the boat for is we'd get it in the water, we'd troll our way out past the Narrows, and then we'd find some place away from the crowds where we thought we could do pretty good bank fishing. We'd kind of play the drop of the bank. We didn't have sonar or anything, but we did very, very well by just beaching the boat and bank fishing in areas where not a lot of people bank fished. Anyway, I hope that helps you catch more and bigger fish this fall. I'm Kel Kellogg. I am signing off. I am going to be doing some bank fishing this fall. I'm going to be doing mine in combination with the kayak, though, and with our power boat. We're going to spend a lot of time trolling, as we always do, but we're also going to spend some time beached, cooking coffee on the stove and just having a good time waiting for a bite. I'm Kel Kellogg. I am out of here. I have to go grocery shopping here with my wife in about an hour or so. So I better get rolling. Get your power bait. Get ready. Bank fishing for fall trout? It's right around the corner. I'm Kel Kellogg. If you're looking for gear, spinning rods, spoons, whatever it is, check out my store, fishhuntshoot.com. Thanks, guys. You have a great day.